Welcome, Hornets, and thank you for joining me today. We are looking at part 3 of assignment 7, and we're looking at specifically numbers 43, 45, 61, and 63. 43 and 45 are using substitution method, and numbers 61 and 63 are asking us to find the area under the curve. So let's go ahead and begin. In number 43, they give us the integration of the square root of e to the t minus 3 dt, and they tell us that u is equal to the square root of e to the t minus 3. Now, just in case, I'm just going to find what u is, or what e to the t is, and that's going to be u squared. I add 3, and I have e to the t. If I find my du, I'm looking at 1/2 square root e to the t minus 3 times the derivative of the inside piece, e to the t, dt, and therefore I then have 2 square root e to the t minus 3 divided by e to the t, du is equal to the dt. I then can plug in e to the t, so I have 2u multiplied by u squared plus 3 du, and I have my u integrated. This is giving me the integration of 2u squared over u squared plus 3 du. And when our powers are equal, or when the numerator is greater, we have to do long division. So we want to make sure that we set this up as u squared plus 3 divided into 2u squared. I then take the first term inside over the first term outside, and I have 2. I distribute 2u squared plus 6 and subtract, and I get negative 6, and this is the remainder. So I'm now looking at the integration of 2 minus 6 over u squared plus 3, the quantity du. This can now be rewritten as the integration of 2 du minus 6, the integration of du over u squared plus 3. This is giving me 2u. This is giving me the arc tangent. So my a value is root 3. My u value, when we back substitute, is the square root of e to the t minus 3. We're now going to put this together. So I have 2u. I'm looking at minus 6 over root 3, arc tangent of the square root of e to the t minus 3 over root 3 plus c. I'm going to back substitute again so that I have 2 square root e to the t minus 3. This simplifies into 2 root 3 arc tangent, and this simplifies into 1 radical e to the t minus 3 over 3, the quantity plus c. And there is my answer to number 43. Okay, let's just review it again, please. We start by finding what e to the t is in terms of u. We take our derivative and we substitute every piece we have, and we then replace our dt with what we found. We make sure we replace the square root of e to the t minus 3 with u, and we multiply. Because the powers are equivalent, we do long division, and we get 2 minus 6 over u squared plus 3. This is the arc tangent with a root 3 as a. Our u is the square root of e to the t minus 3. 2 du gives me 2u. Back substituting is 2 square root e to the t minus 3. We then construct our arc tangent and simplify to get our final answer. And that is our final answer. Let's now go to number 45, please. Number 45, the last of our substitutions that we're doing, is a definite integral, 1 to 3 dx, and in the denominator we have root x, 1 plus x. Now, they tell us that our u is supposed to be the square root of x, which means that if I were to find a u squared, that would equal the x. I also know that my a value is going to change from a 3 into a root 3. I know my b value changes from a 3 to a root 3, excuse me, people. My a value is a 1 and changes into a 1. We're looking at our derivative du equals 1 over 2 root x dx, and that's going to give me 2 u du equals the dx. I'm now going to substitute what I can. So I have my dx, 2u du. I have a u in the denominator. I have a 1 squared plus a root x squared. And I'm going from 1 to root 3. This is giving me 2 integration 1 to root 3 of du, and I have 1 squared plus u squared. This is giving me the arctangent, so I have 2 arctangent of the u over 1, and I'm looking at 1 to root 3. This is giving me 2 arctan of root 3 minus 2 arctan of 1. We know that the root 3 is pi over 3, so 2 pi over 3 minus 2 pi over 4, which allows me to factor out the 2 so that I have pi over 3 minus pi over 4. That is giving me the pi over 12. So I have 2 times pi over 12, and I'm simplifying it to get me my answer, pi over 6. So the answer is pi over 6. Once again, let's very quickly review this. We're starting with u equaling the root. I found u squared equaling x just in case it turns out we didn't need it, but I saw that x inside and I figured it might be important. You'll notice it does turn out to substitute here, and so it's kind of nice. I found what b and a were. I found what my du was and put it in terms of u. I substituted everything. I reduced, and then I used my arctangent. I plugged in my root 3. I plugged in my 1. I found what the arctangent of root 3 and the arctangent of 1 were. I factored out the 2. I then simplified, and I simplified to get my answer. That's number 45. Let's go ahead and finish with the last two. We've got number 61 and then number 63, and this should take us very little time to finish as we go through. They say find the area of the region. And in number 61, we're looking at y equals 2 over 4 minus x squared to the square root. They give us the graph, and they tell us that we're looking at this portion right here, from 0 to 1. So I'm looking at 0 to 1, 2. Then I have the dx square root of 2 squared minus x squared. This is giving me my 2 arc sine. And I'm looking at of x over 2. And this is going from 0 to 1. Plugging in the 1, I have 2 arc sine of 1/2. That's giving me 2 times pi over 6 minus 2 arc sine of 0, and that's 0. And my answer is pi over 3 for number 61. So we're now going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at number 60, what was that, 63. Make sure I have this written down correctly. We have y equals, I have 1 over x squared plus, minus 2x, excuse me, minus 2x plus 5. So I'm going to be pulling out a 1 here and calling this 1x squared minus 2x plus 1 plus 4, which will simplify to 1 over x minus 1, the quantity squared, plus 2 squared. And you'll notice I'm looking at an arctangent again. Now, the picture that they give me is important because this is telling me what I'm working with. I have a graph that's doing this, and they want me to work from 1 to 3. 1 to 3. Just like I did 0 to 1 there. Now this is what is referred to as the area under the curve. So I'm finding 1 to 3 of dx and x minus 1, the quantity squared, plus 2 squared. That means that I have 1/2 the arctangent. Make sure you can see it. Arctangent of x minus 1 divided by 2 from 1 to 3. 1/2 arctan of 1 minus 1/2 the arctan of 0. We know that the arctangent of 0 is 0 pi. And we know that the arctan of 1 is pi over 4. This will reduce, and my answer has to be pi over 8. And that is the answer to number 63. All righty, Hornets. That's assignment number 8. I hope this has helped you. Please remember, if you found these videos to be useful, please remember to click like. Otherwise, please make sure you give me a comment and you let me know how I can improve. Hornets, please be safe, be kind to each other. Remember, it's easy to be mean. We can be mean with a look. We can be mean with a word, with a statement, with silence, with inaction, or with an action. So we have a lot of ways to be mean to people. Stop and think before you do things. Stop and think before you say something. And please, don't just try to be nice to each other. Try to be kind to everyone. If we want to change this world, change starts from within. And that means we are the center of it. We have to start it. We have to abolish our own prejudices, our own bigotries, and we have to fight our own racism so that we can change this world to be a better world and a better country that truly models what our forefathers had as their intent, even if it was flawed at that time. Thank you very much. Be well and be safe. Bye-bye now.